Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of fmtraining.tv, where every day at 1 o'clock Pacific time, we are doing FileMaker training on the world's most awesome platform. So today is interesting because we have a lot of hot news. We are here at Claris headquarters, which is always exciting. If you want to support the channel, once again, this is totally free. The content here is free. Most of all our files are free, but if you want to support the channel, purchase one of the training bundles. We greatly appreciate it. It really helps us out quite a bit. It keeps the lights on, and it frankly allows me to pay Margaret and all the other people that help with the live streams because it's a large team. May not only seem like it's just Richard and Margaret or intermittently Nick will be here. So we have to fund all that. Plus there's video editors and things like that. So we greatly appreciate that. So, okay, we're now going to start the kind of this open kind of Q&A. We have some questions are pre, but if it's a relevant question, Margaret, this is what, okay, if you're a professional FileMaker person or you work at Claris, you should be prepared to say, I don't know the answer, right? That's a possible answer here that I might have is I don't know, okay? But after 30 some odd years, I have pretty good grasp of most things. And if I don't know it, there's a reason for that. So the question comes up, database design. I want to move records from one table to another table for archival purposes. Here is the deal. Under most situations, you don't need to archive anything. If I go to host and DBW 13 and I open up the mock FMSP mock data, this is the one with a lot of data in it. Let's see if it'll open up. Oh, there it goes. So this is the one with like many millions of records in it, right? So if I come over here and I hit contacts, this has 800,000 records here, and invoices, there's more than 1 million, 1.1 million. So the rub is like there's kin there. So yeah, so here the issue is that, well, I don't say the person in their example says, I only have 200 real records. And people tend to edit things over here. There's summary fields, there's things that make it go slow. Now, you could make the database go faster, like what we do a starting point, by carefully crafting scripts that run totals and things. That's an upcoming live stream that we're going to have on totaling related data, right? There's ways of doing it much faster. In fact, we're working on a set of conversations about coding, but mechanically coding at an intermediate level, like an established good intermediate developer would do to make things go fast. And so that is kind of a multi-day effort that's going to be coming up because it comes up for Margaret, it's coming up for a bunch of you. So, but if you only had, say, like if I do a search for all the people who have a K and all the people have a C right here, say this is our operative list of records. We have 3,000 records. So you say, hey, Richard, I want to take 794,000 of them and archive them to another table, or even better, another table in a different FMP12 file, right? So you don't get rid of them. The short version is that you script the process. You can do it on the server if you want. But the two ways of moving it, operatively moving it, is to do a import from a script from the destination side. So you run an import command from the script on where the data is going to go. We call that the destination. It'll import out of the source, which would be right here. Okay. And then once you verify that you trap for errors. If there's no errors, that's good. That's fine. That's a bulk operation. The bulk operations are great as long as everything goes correctly. You don't have any weird one record outliers that don't import for whatever reason. And there's not like anything special like you have to take action on, right? Like, 793,000 records have to be imported. And there's no question in your mind about that. None. You like, I swear, you're not supposed to swear that those all have to move. Fine. That's one of the fastest ways of doing it. Now, I don't prefer that because it doesn't give you the fine control, the fidelity that you need to, if you loop it, you're like, well, that'll take forever. Yeah, but if you run it for 30 minutes at night every day, it never gets out of hand. The first group here might take it the weekend to do, or you just do a small subset. But you have a loop, and the loop, it does a bunch of set field commands or set some variables or whatever it's going to do. But that way you can evaluate, like, you're going through the record here and you're processing and you're processing and you're processing and you're processing. And you're like, oh, well, this person is from McKinley, Kansas, right? And because McKinley, Kansas is blah, 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 then we're going to have to skip them, or they get special treatment somehow. So whereas when you're doing import, you have to do a find and you have to have a real high degree of confidence that that bulk operation is really what you want to do. Because once you do it, then you delete all 790 4,000 records, just keep in mind that there's no undo for that. When you delete records, there's no undo. FileMaker is pretty good about undoing scripts work, layout work. Even if you're do a layout, edit and layout, go to browse mode. It's not right. Come back and hit Command Z or Control Z undo. It's really great about undoing that. Scripts the same way, but there's no undo for duking records. So I prefer to do the records piecemeal, but and it also allows you to refine that process with adjusting the looping script. Like, well, that's so much slower. Yeah, it could be 10 times slower, but it's about 1,000 times more flexible. And I like the flexibility. I will account for an ongoing process or overnight or something like that, or multiple overnights to get that fine fidelity. Because then every time it does one or does something, you could also write a log. Of course, then you'd have 794,000 log entries, but right, you could do something or that, and then there's a log in a different table, like you folks saw yesterday, the audit trail stuff, which is crazy, 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 crazy good stuff. All right, so that's that question. So there's two ways of doing this, right? We're clear. Any questions on that, Margaret, from your end of things?
No, I don't think so. That is cohesively answered.
Cohesively answered. That's because I practiced. Before I got to the show, we practiced.